Alright, welcome back to another one. We are still on the key, rather in the key of F. So I said I was going to keep showing us some things we can do in the key of F so you can understand where you are playing from whenever you are playing a song. Okay, so for today I'll be talking about 7 chords. You might have heard of 7 chords, 13th chords, 9th chords. You heard of extended chords. These things are confusing. Maybe somebody plays something like this and they'll tell you this is the name of this chord and it's not so clear and you are confused. So today I'll be breaking down some of these terms for us so you can really understand where we speak from when you hear extended chords and the rest. So somebody can say play your do, but play it in maybe play your major, your add 9, add 11 and 13. So when I play a chord like this, you check your screen, as you can see it's showing an F9 13th. This is a 13th chord. This is an extended chord in the sense that this is your root chord. If you've been following the lesson, this is your root chord. Like this is like your origin, where you've been coming from. But to sound nice, to sound good, to sound great, to sound like the kind of musicians you hear that you love to sound like there's need to add color to what you play. So these colors you can get by playing extended chords. Let's say you want to graduate, you are tired of playing just your do like this and you want to add something to it. So extended chords, there are options. Alright, so I'll start with 7 chords. So what is a 7 chord? People say 7 chord. Now this is my normal do. If I want to play, and this is an F. If I'm to play an F major 7th chord, now this is how I think about it as a beginner. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is 7. Okay, and this is E, right? And this is my T. What I can do is I can play do, mi, so, and add this. This automatically becomes a 7th chord. As you can see, this is a major 7th chord. Do you see? Now if I want to play a 9th chord, all I need to do is to count. Now that 9th chord now will be like an extended chord because we are crossing this note. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1. But because we want to form an extended chord, this is not going to be 1 anymore. This is going to be 8. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is my 9. So I want to add my 9 to this one now. So if I add it, you can see what is it showing? An F major 9. Okay, that's my 9. I can decide to add my 11th. This is 10. This is 11. So this is an 11th chord. Let me see, F major 9 sharp 11th. Okay, this is an 11th chord here. That's an 11th chord. So I might decide to add my 13. So this is 11, 12, 13. So this is a 13th chord. Your keyboard is showing a low crown, whatever, but that's a 13th chord. This is your La. When you add your La to your major 7th, you get a 13th chord. Now all these chords, they are called extended chords. They have their different functions. Somebody can play you are God. This is an F major 7, so I can do you are God. So that's like a 13th chord. From beginning is another 13th chord as a passing chord to the end. There's no place for argument. Now this is how they use extended chords. After you must have understand the concept of an extended chord, then you start thinking of ways that you can apply them to any kind of song. So I'm going to show now this is a major 7th chord. You see the way I formed it. Now let's approach the minor chord. You know our Re is a minor, so let's form a Re major 7th. That's a G minor 7th. So how do we get a G minor 7th? Now let me do it in the most simplest way, because if I have to go into the key of G now, I might confuse some of you, but let's just do it this way. Now when you have a minor chord like this and you want to get a minor 7th, all you need to do is to locate the notes, your root note, count 2 half steps backward. 1 2. That's your 7th. You add it to it. So when I add that F over here, when I add it here, you see that's a G minor 7th. I can decide to add the 9 of G minor 7. This is the 9 here. I can bring it here. So This is a G minor 9. Just know it like that. So I'll give us like an easy exercise that we can just practice. So to practice your major seventh, to be your minor, your major seventh, your saw, major seventh. You know, your saw, the quality of your saw is a dominant chord. So we're gonna play like this. It's gonna be a dominant seventh. As you can see, this is a C7. A C7 is different from C major seventh. These terms are not really easy to understand at a go, but if you are following, you actually understand. If you're following, you understand these terms. Just play this for now, then I'll teach you how to form a major seventh chord, a dominant seventh chord, a diminished seventh chord, and a minor seventh chord. So let's go. So here again we have do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, okay, so, la. Then for your T, no, this is your T, T, re, fa. This is your normal T triad. So for your T, you're going to be playing a half diminished chord. This usually called the seventh. Okay, this is like an E minor 7 flat 5, but it's a half diminished chord. They also call it a half diminished chord. Ti, do, ti, la, so, fa. You can see the hand I'm using. Fa, mi, re. You do the same thing here. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la. I'm not too fast. La, so, you want to practice the sound, so this is like an introduction to 7th chord. So now, how do you form a major 7th chord? Let me just go back. I already explained that before, but since I'll say it again, just locate your root note, count one half step backward, you get an E. You put an E here and it becomes your major 7th chord. Now how do you get a major dominant dominant 7th chord? You locate your normal chord. Dominant chords or dominant 7th chords are kind of related to major chords. When you play a major chord, you can play a dominant chord for this particular chord. You remember your do is a major chord, your fa is a major chord, your so is a major chord. Hope you remember that. While your re, mi, and la, they are minor, and your T is a diminished chord. All these are some essentials that you need to know. Alright, so when you want to form a dominant chord, this is your chord. You count 2 half steps backward from your root note. 1, 2. You see? 1, 2. 1, 2. I have E flat, so I put the E flat here. As you can see, this is an F7 chord. Now, you might be asking, how do I know when to use it? Just learn it, know it. When I'm beginning to teach you song, you will see me use them. I can tell you, okay, let's say I'm playing a song now. You are highly lifted up. I can do there is. You see, I've added the notes. I've added it because if we are coming from the concept of your circle of fifth and circle of fourth, your C, your F has a very strong pull to your B flat, especially when you are playing it as an F7. These are principles, things you need to know. These are circle of fourth and fifth. If you should make this chord now and a 7th chord, a dominant 7th chord like this, it has a very strong pull here. That's why most times you now hear people say passing chords. They play this, you are highly lifted, passing chord. See, there is no one like you. Hallelujah, So now we are going to be speaking from key concept, the key you are playing from. We are playing the key of F. So in the key of F, if you have to use the technical names and the rest, your saw is going to be the one that is going to be a dominant 7th chord. Your do is going to be a major 7 chord, while your re is going to be a minor 7 chord, your mi a minor 7 chord, your T is going to be a half diminished 7 chord, also known as a 7/5 chord. These are some things you should know. So now let's talk about ninth chord, seventh. I've talked about 7 chords, dominant 7 chords, minor 7 chords. Now let's talk about ninth, add 9 and add 2. So when you play something like this, it's going to be showing you add 2. This is an add 2. Why is it add 2? This is your normal do. The moment you add this note here, it becomes an add 2. When you play your do like this, it's sweet. It sounds nice. These things, they add colors to our playing. It sounds nice. You can even decide to remove this. Now, this is called voicing. You've been hearing people say voicing, voicing. Voicing means a chord was played like this. But I don't want to play it this way. I want to play it in another way, because I know if I play it in another way, it will sound beautiful. You have a different color of sound, but that does not change the quality of the chord. Hope you get that. Okay, so this chord we see here like this now, this is a R2. Why? Where is the 2 coming from? The 2 is coming from here. Your number system, you should also know your number system. 1, 2, that's the 2. You see it? So now in this chord, now if I decide to play my major 7th chord and play like this, it will become a major 9. It's not going to be an R2 again. Let me remove the do so it's not too much. See the chord? If I play major 7th here, then play my do R2 here, altogether it will become an F major 9. Now, why is it a major 9? Notice that it is when I added this note that it became a major 9. All this while it's an R2, but the moment I add this note, it becomes a major 9. Why? This 7th chord makes the difference. The 7th chord is like a bridge. The moment you cross this bridge, anything you form, this is already 7. Anything you form here becomes a 9. When you form something here, it becomes an 11. When you form anything here, it becomes a 13th. But mind you, if I should remove this one now and play this, this will not be a 13th anymore. What is it showing? Let's see. This will be a 6. Why is it a 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these are the terms, like some things you just need to know. I would say you should take your time. These things are not really easy to comprehend. Like, it is with time. Watch this video, try to rewatch it, and maybe some other videos you see online, or some other persons that can tell you more about extended and 7th chords. So whenever I'm teaching us a song and I'm showing us now, okay, oh, this is how, okay, I want to go to this place, this is what I use, I'll be telling you. When I say this is a major 7th chord, you will know where I'm talking from. Just know that your basic triad chords, they are like, let's even start with your notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. It's like when you're in your kindergarten in school. You're still doing A for apple, B for ball. Do you want to stay that level? Nope. You want to learn chords. Chords is like you're not in primary school. Okay, you could read, you could dance, and the rest. You could do a lot of things like that. Now you want to graduate. You don't want to stay in primary school. You want to start playing. That's where your inversions come in. Yes, I've taught us inversions. You've got your first degree and you're like, okay, I can play a lot of things, but I'm not okay. I want to add color to my playing. Maybe you want to add tritones and the rest. That means you're kind of growing. So it means these chords, they grow. That's why as a beginner, don't fight for chords like this. You don't need them. They will confuse you, especially when you don't know the roots of how they came about. Unless you must have read about them. That's when you can decide to start using them. Though some of your tutors might tell you just use for now. Go on, you will learn theory later. Yes, but you'll be making yourself some mistakes if you learn the chord and you did not learn the theory behind it. It is with theory that you can be in a foreign key. You know what you are doing. Okay, I already know if I want to get a major 7th chord, I will be on my particular key, or I'll play do, mi, so. Then if I want to get a major 7th chord, I will go and look for the 7th of my scale and add it to it. Example, I'm in the key of F sharp. I'll look for the 7th of F sharp. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. That's the 7th. The moment I add it to it, it becomes, see, an F sharp major 7th chord. Wow, okay. When I play like this and I add my 2 to it, it becomes an add 2. Oh wow. Before you know, if you are the type that want to play all 12 keys, you can understand these concepts. So I will not really need to teach you on C, teach you on F. I will just need to teach you on one key, and you do the rest of the job yourself. Re, re, add to fa 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 fa. See the hands I'm using. For your C, just play your normal T, then back to do, do. So I can even use this to play a song. When sickness and troubles